I played the guy, and basically the whole thing of the video was basically like him asking me straight questions, and then it kind of slowly meandered into him flirting with me, and it was me flirting with myself in my own room with green screen background.
Mm.
Um, and then that like really popped off for absolutely no reason. I had like that got like a million views overnight. I woke up the next day and I was like, sorry, like I couldn't believe it. And I had all these new followers, and everyone's like, we love the gay shit. And I was like, okay. And at that point, went out to the back garden, lit a bonfire, threw in the mammy robe, threw in my chicken fillet roll, threw in the Avonmore
Yeah.
milk and the wooden spoon, and
Mm.
all went up in flames. And I haven't
Absolutely.
really gone back.
I mean, I mean, what a baptism by fire, honestly. There.
Yeah.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Finnterviews. I'm your host Connor Finn, and this is a show where I get to chat to the most Finteresting people I know. On the show this week, I was delighted to be joined by Irish TikToker, YouTuber, and all-around funny man. It was, of course, the wonderful Chris Murphy. We chatted all about Chris's journey from performing as a Billy Barry kid and the traumas of working in children's amusements to blowing up on TikTok, distrusting Tinder, and becoming one of the frontrunners in Irish LGBT comedy, and the exciting plans Chris has in store for the future. This was a real fun episode to record, and I'm so glad that me and Chris both got through it. We were a bit fragile. It was a Sunday, and it was just Chris's birthday. So yeah, you can probably hear us in this struggle along, but we got some good content out of it. You know what? We'll struggle through. We're professionals here. Anyways, without further ado, please enjoy this latest episode of Finnterviews with the wonderful Chris Murphy. Well, welcome back to another episode of Finnterviews. On the show this week, I am delighted to welcome on Chris Murphy. How's it going, Chris?
I'm amazing. How are you?
I'm very delighted to have you on. We're just discussing there. It's a Sunday. You've had quite a weekend, I imagine. Happy birthday, by the way. Congratulations. I think we're both going to struggle through this interview, but you know what? We're professionals. We made here. It's a Sunday. It's a weekend, and we are putting in the hours.
There we go.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Overtime.
You're like, please make it stop.
I'm logging on. Thank you.
You're like, Connor, you didn't mention payment by this episode. Yeah, no, you get invoiced, I swear. But I suppose, first and foremost, Chris, thank you so much for coming on to the show. For those that maybe aren't aware of you, who are they? Have they been living under a rock?
Yeah.
But for the rare occasion that people aren't aware of you or maybe don't know why we're chatting this evening, maybe
Okay.
give us a bit of an insight, a little bit about your background, maybe what you're known for.
Well, I normally say Chris is Anam Dum. My name is Chris. So yeah, it's Oskelga because I'm Irish. And then I suppose people probably know me more so from my TikTok, which is also Chris is Anam Dum. And the content that I make there, it used to be kind of like Irish focused and now kind of slipped into like very LGBT-esque content, very queer content. So that's kind of more where I'd be known, I suppose.
Yeah, I think that's where I first discovered you. It was like just through TikTok. It was like the starting off days. And it was kind of like yourself and Gaeligory were like coming up my feed. And then next thing, like, yeah, it was like, I was like, oh my God, yeah, pure like Irish language, like queer. And then it like, I think recently, it was like one of your last videos was like, going off and like Lady Gaga Chronica cookies. And I was like, okay, this is a very, yeah, this is diverging very straight down here.
Beautiful 180.
But yeah, I suppose like as you that's where I kind of first discovered you on TikTok, and I suppose that's where you've like really blown up over the last thing. I mean,
Oh,
I was trying to do some research statistics. I mean, you're at like over like 400 like thousand followers now, which is like fucking insane. But like I suppose like this is you. I mean, you're doing this, you're doing YouTube. I mean, you're just putting out so much content so quickly. I suppose that'd be the best way to, I mean, say content creator. Or is that like
content
one of those
creator.
terms that you're like, that makes me cringe?
Well, I don't mind content creator. I don't see it for me because I feel like content creator people like it's very planned and executed, and I feel like a lot of my stuff is
You're like, mine's a messy bitch.
yeah, mine's like messy content creator. I don't know,
Mm.
like but yeah, on paper I create content, so I suppose yes, it is an accurate title, but I feel like I've be more kind of just like, I think TikToker is good. I like that one.
TikToker. Okay, okay.
Yeah. Well, I don't
I,
mind. How do I identify?
it's fine. It's absolutely grand, Connor. No labels here. But I suppose like for like your stuff, it's so funny. I mean, I think it's like seems pretty well put together. But like, I suppose when did you initially like first get into this? Like, into like because a lot of your stuff, I mean, it's very it's very niche content as well. Like, I think like your humor is like it taps into like silly little things that like I feel like go past people's lives all the time, but you managed to
Yeah.
catch into. Like, I suppose, like, was it something like kind of making videos and this thing like always something that you were like gravitated towards and had like a bit of a passion for, or like, did you like potentially have like another kind of path in mind? Like, what initially got you into like this, making funny videos at the end of the day?
Well, it might not surprise anyone, but I did a degree in English and drama, so I
Shock horror.
always like, yeah, not one jaw dropped. But
If anybody's playing bingo, yeah, that's the first one.
this is a drinking game. That's a shot, big a shot. Um, yeah, I did drama, so I just loved doing anything that was kind of like acting or anything like that. I loved that. I was a Billy Barry kid, all that,
Oh, oh
all
my
that
God.
stuff.
You
Jazz.
you and Sinead O'Carroll apart. Oh no, yeah, I was gonna say from Bewitched. She was a big Billy Barry kid as well. I feel like
What?
that's where all the greats start off. Yeah,
Samantha Mumba was a Billy Barry kid. Oh no, wait, I can't hear
I
you.
have absolutely no idea who that is.
Samantha Mumba.
Oh, I thought you said Samantha Mumbles, and I was like, who the fuck is
I
Samantha
was literally
Mumbles?
being like, okay, well, this is great.
You're like, thanks so much. Yeah. Oh, Samantha Mumba. Oh my God. Yeah, she's in like LA and stuff now. But Billy Barry
Put
kid.
some
Yeah, through
respect
and
back on
through.
her name.
Wow, slander.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, all the greats. Yeah.
All the greats. Yeah, so I think I've always been kind of like performing and doing stage stuff, and like it's been very kind of like rigid and like doing all these. I don't know. I didn't. I liked it, but I didn't love it. And
Mm.
then I went to UCT. When I was in UCT, I decided I liked doing film and stuff like that. And then I was like, oh, cool. I'm going to be a director. Like I just decided that I was like, yeah, this is the right path for me. But I
Easy.
hadn't
That's
figured my
it.
own
Yeah.
like. Yeah, I was like, let me just do it. Like I was like, the chair is very comfortable. I'm like, it makes sense. Um, so yeah, I was doing a little bit of directing and like really, really like short films, like student films that like some won awards, some will never see the light of day.
Okay. All
Sitting on
right.
a hard drive wasting away somewhere. Straight Chris trying to direct, that's fine. um, and then yeah, I think from that I like kind of meandered into like me making content, and then I was trying to do stuff on Instagram, and then I was like, this is so fabricated. And then when TikTok came, I was like, this is literally iconic because it felt like Vine, and I feel like I missed the boat on Vine.
Oh, I mean, honestly, I feel like I remember initially discovering TikTok as well and being like, the fuck is this? Like, because mainly, it started off just kids dancing, and you're just like, right, this is a little bit like strange that I'm sitting here, like in my 20s, watching essentially teenagers just like dancing and hypersexualized. But then I feel like Lockdown 1 came in, like French, like Chef's Kiss, stunning. The amount of people that just got in on it, and like at that time, and it's so catered to everybody's like needs. Like
Isn't that
there's like TikTok knows me better than I know myself. Sometimes I'm kind of like, you called me out.
period? Yeah, yeah. Like it's just, oh, I don't know how to do it, honestly. Like that's what I say. Like the two things that know me the best, Spotify and TikTok. Like they know me better than I know myself. They know me better than my parents know me. They know me better than any of my friends know me. Like Spotify will just play a song that I need to hear, and then TikTok will show me some fucking queer shit that I need to see. That's it.
I mean, yeah. And then I suppose from that, like you obviously like everybody else, like I mean, you just discovered this platform and it was like, hell yeah, there is just I feel like it's just boundless. Like there's so many different regions on TikTok, but
Yeah,
then I suppose you took the leap and actually instead of like me where I'm just like consuming all the time, being like, oh, that's so funny. You actually got involved with it and like were
yeah.
part of it. Like, yeah, what was that like starting off? Like, was it
It was weird. I didn't really. I see at the same time. Like I'm in the same boat as you. Like I didn't really get TikTok. I was like at the beginning because it was like a branch of Musically or was Musically. I
mm,
was like,
mm.
Mama, I don't know. Like I don't know if she's the tea. So I was like, let me slip away here. And then I realized that I did like the content on it. And then I was like, okay, let me try and make stuff. I was like, at the time, Rosa was getting very big. I don't even remember. This is like literally like maybe like a couple of weeks before lockdown one. It was like this guy and he pretended to be this like girl who was like, you got $1? Open your purse, let me see, right? And it just went viral for no reason. It was really funny. And I was like, oh my God, what if Rosa was like a Dublin girlo? So that was my very first video. And it was just me going like, I was like, open your fanny pack, give me €1 for a chicken fillet, like, and like was not funny, like really wasn't funny. And that just blew up. But I think it was because people were like so happy to see content that had been catered for Irish people. Like it was like, okay, I
Yeah.
recognize this as the video of TikTok this week.
Mm.
And now it's like been Irish sized or like,
Mm.
Dublin sized or whatever. Dublinated. I don't know. I'm trying to make a word here. It's not happening.
Yeah, but no, I think that was literally it. And then I remember after that, like, I suppose so much more like things started catered in. Like, everything, I think you kind of jumped on the trend that, like, before it kind of like got too big, and then everybody was doing like the rate the counties, whatever, like this. And like, I remember there's even like this American guy that like Americans were getting in touch with, like,
Yeah.
Irish TikTok and all. Like, have you found that like yourself, like on the opposite end, like Americans getting in on like Irish TikTok? Like, it feels like it's just been very one-sided.
Yeah, no, they do get in on our stuff. Like I think I can't remember his name, Mark Bowling Ball or something, I think his name is, but he was like one of the big ones. They had an Irish TikTok house at the very early stages called Bilera, which I was not invited to be part of. And I was like, that's fine. That's fine. Y'all have your house. I'm gonna claim homophobia on this, obviously. No,
Thank
um,
God somebody did, honestly.
no, well, Shauna the sheep is in it and she's bi, so I was like, okay, the representation has been, that box has been ticked.
Mm.
Um,
Diversity section done.
yeah, it's like we got one of each. Um, so yeah, he was part of that, and I was like, first of all, get out because I'm not even part of it. But yeah, people really liked it. But I remember he did this thing where he like pronounced the Irish. I did find it very interesting. Like he pronounced Irish names and
Mm.
like counties, and he'd be like, oh, Donegal and all this stuff, and everyone's like, oh my God, lol, that's so funny. Like he tried, and yeah, and Aoife was like Aofi and stuff, and I was like, that's actually so funny. Like that, I can't read that as Aofi ever.
Yeah. Like, I suppose, like, as being, not that we're like bitter about like whatever, like the content house, it's fine. They had to go, do their own thing. Like, I mean, but I mean, who hears about them now? Not me. They're not on the podcast. Yuck. But like, I suppose, like, what was like the kind of inspiration behind like that kind of humor? Like, was there anything or anyone that particularly, I suppose you were mentioned there about like initially you're seeing one thing, then you're going like, oh, let's make this like Irish based, but like diverging on from there, is there like, was it ever like, I mean, because it's essentially like Vine at the end of the day,
Yeah.
but like, were you going into it just being like, you know what, I just have an idea? You said like, do you just like make them up on the spot, or was there any ones that you're just kind of like literally ingesting so much and you're just being like, okay, I can do like my own twist on this?
Yeah, I mean, everything kind of like it's a bit of both. Like one time I might get an idea and I'm like, oh, and like literally like during lockdown, I was like, literally, I was working at the time as well. But if I had an idea, I'd be like, cool, just run with it, like go, like, do you know what I mean? Like, it'd be something dope.
Can't
And
relate.
it's like fired. But I don't know. It all got very repetitive quite quickly because like I was, and I hate it. I hate it. Don't look at me, but I was part of the like Irish mommy talk and like Irish wooden spoon, flat 7 Up, Cal Paul, like chicken fillet roll. I was that bitch, and it had to pave the way to where I am
We
now.
don't judge here. Oh my God,
No,
honestly, this
that
is
was a
an open
stepping stone.
space. Yeah, like each to their own. You do those chick fillet rolls. Yeah. Do some radio stations. Yeah, go for
Oh
it.
God. I did all that because it was like that was because I was trying to do stuff. Like I started off, I was like, okay, let me like test the waters and do like a little bit of LGBT stuff. And anytime
Yeah.
I mentioned it, like the views would be like, you know. So
Homophobic.
I was like, yeah, no, I'm not saying, tell me you're homophobic without telling me you're homophobic. And that was literally
TikTok called out. Cancelled.
so I was just like, okay, let me just do what lands. And then at one point I was like, this is tired. I'm tired. Like I'm done. It's over. Like I think I literally did this is so embarrassing. Actually, it's kind of iconic too. It was like, what if Irish Mammy had a verse on Dua Lipa's Levitating? And I think that was like the straw that broke the camel's back. I was like, it's done. Like that time, that energy.
If there's ever time to perhaps pack up that Irish mummy bag, it's whenever you're being like, I'm levitating. Yeah.
Yeah, that
Bring out
dressing
the
gown
wooden
was
spoon and
like,
the butter or mayo. Yeah.
it was literally, it was like, oh God, Ashley, I don't know. If we,
Oh no, don't worry. It gives a rendition, honestly. I mean, I just to remind us. I mean, for all of the, I'm sure the very, critical thinkers of the group. Yeah.
yeah, do you know what? Like you hit the nail on the head like that. I feel like they were exact quotes from the verse. The Irish man, oh God. Yeah, so then anyway, I decided I didn't want to do that anymore. And I was like, okay, how do I spin it around? And I was like, let me just go hardcore at the LGBT stuff because it was very much kind of like a little bit of spice, kind of like,
Mm,
oh, how did that work? So I seen there was a couple of LGBT people that I was following, and it was just like kind of content of like how people feel in certain situations. And
mm,
then like some of the stuff that you'd see on Instagram would have influenced that. And it was like
mm.
there was this guy who was like, he did a video, and I don't even know who it is, which is horrible, but I saw it. He's just like, he's telling an experience about him at the barbers. And I was like, like it is so difficult to explain to like a straight person. Like it's actually a different world experience of going to get your hair cut as a straight man and going to get your hair cut as a straight or a gay man. It's just it's a different world. So I was like, what if I made a video where like about assumptions, like don't judge a book by its cover. So like I go in
Yeah.
and I'm like, do you do haircuts? And they're like, yeah, sit down. And the guy who I was also playing it, so I don't know how great this was, but I was
Mm.
playing straight, you know. I was like,
Yeah.
I can probably do this, did it for 18 years, you know. Won all the awards. So I played the guy, and basically the whole thing of the video was basically like him asking me straight questions, and then it kind of slowly meandered into him flirting with me, and it was me flirting with myself in my own room with green screen background.
Mm.
um, and then that like really popped off for absolutely no reason. I had like that got like a million views overnight. I woke up the next day and I was like, sorry, like I couldn't believe that, and I had all these new followers, and everyone's like, we love the gay shit. And I was like, okay. And at that point, went out to the back garden, lit a bonfire, threw in the mammy robe, threw in my chicken fillet roll, threw in the Avonmore
Yeah.
milk and the wooden spoon, and
Mm.
all went up in flames. And I haven't
Absolutely.
really gone back.
I mean, I mean, what a baptism by fire, honestly. There.
Yeah.
But I remember literally seeing that video as well because I think that was like one. As I mean, as you said, went fucking viral. I mean, who hasn't seen it? Like, but like it was, yeah, it was the way that got in and literally, and I think that's what I mean. Where your content, like, it's that kind of humor that taps into those wee like silly moments that you don't even think about until somebody's being like, "What about this?" And then you'll be like, "Oh my god, he's right."
Yeah.
But it was literally when you were tapping into like, and it's literally, yeah, and the girls or whatever like this. Oh, you got like it, and you're being like, yeah, like,
Yeah.
yes. Oh, like, have you been watching that? Yeah, I've been.
A lot of it is inspired by true events where it's like, oh,
Yeah.
like you're like left in a situation where it's like your mutual friend goes to the toilet or something, and like you're sitting there with like her boyfriend, and you're like, and he's like, have you seen the game? And like your mind runs is like, okay, first of all, what fucking sport is he talking about? I have no idea. And when he says football, is that Gaelic? Is it American football? Is it soccer? Is it, you
Who
know,
knows?
just too much, it's too many
There's too
branches
much.
of physical activity that I can't keep up with. So
No, honestly, like, I mean, God, just like cutthroat out. You really, I feel like there needs to be an equal kind of like knowledge, like paradigm here. I feel like a lot of people have like drafted in, like at least Drag Race. I feel like a lot of people have now been able to, that is like an equal common denominator. Like
yeah,
even
yeah,
if you
yeah.
haven't seen Drag Race, you have seen Drag Race. Let's be
You've
real.
never,
At the end of the
no,
day,
yeah,
yeah, exactly.
you know,
But
you know.
like, we know, we can see. Yeah, yeah. Your TikTok, it makes difference. I know she better. But like, yeah, I suppose that was like one of the major things. Whenever I seen you kind of going down this route, I was like, this lad just has. It was just tapping into humor that I really got as well, and I think
Yeah.
so many other people, like even when I mentioned some of my friends, I was be like, oh yeah, like it's like who chanted this week, and I was be like, yeah, I think it's like, do you know Chris, blah, blah, and I was just kind of like trying to show some TikToks. They'll be like, oh my god, he's literally like not been off our For You pages. It's kind of the same with
Yeah, it's
one of my
rent
first.
free.
Yeah, but one of my first interviews was with your mate as well, with Ruth, and it was the exact same
Oh, I
thing.
love Rue.
Whenever I was like chatting away about like, oh yeah, like who am I gonna get on? And I'm like, oh, do you know, yeah, TikTok none, yeah, like prosthetic leg, and they'll be like, wait, what? Like, and it sounds like just random like shite that you're talking about. But everybody now just understands this kind of like TikTok culture of being like, yep, like we've literally ingested hours of this person's content. Like it's just so funny. But I
Hey, man.
suppose like as well as from this, I mean, before all of the stardom, the internet sensation that is Chris, go on.
No, no.
Before all of this life, and before you even start, you thought you were going to be like a director and everything else. Maybe tell us about some of the. I always find it interesting where people, often, you have to do some random jobs here and there. And I like to phrase them as character building, but I don't know if you had many character building jobs growing up that maybe informed the personality, the persona that you are today. I feel like
Yeah.
you have definitely been through the ropes of things. Like, I mean, I can see it in your eyes. Yeah, you've worked in that public sphere.
I've done everything. Like when I say everything, I literally like I've done worked in cinema, done barista, done retail, done the bank, done insurance, done call centers, done the office jobs. Literally, I've literally done everything, anything physical except like building and like a tradie or anything like that. Like
Oh,
nothing manual. But yeah, no, I worked everywhere. One of the worst jobs I worked was shout out to Fantasia, the
what's
amusement park.
Fantasia?
Do you not know what Fantasia like the amusement park? There's one in Bettystown, Drogheda.
Oh, so
It's
you're
got a water
talking.
park.
Oh, so you're talking to little Armagh boy here,
It was always a
representing the
little green.
north. Um,
But
I was like, I was getting excited there. No, fuck. No, I've never heard of Fantasia.
really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, it's quite popular. This free promo for them right now.
Wow, we really took the soup. God. Oh.
I feel like a lot of people knew it. Like it was like literally the place to be. And when I was growing up, like it was so good because it was like a lot of amusements and bumper cars and like water slides and whatever, you know.
Mhm.
And then I was like, this is exactly what it's gonna feel like working there, like working with the public. I'm gonna love it. And it was absolutely horrible. It was all these horrible kids used to spit like I've so like I could literally write a book about my working there because like the kids used to like spit on us, throw stuff at us, um
What?
shout abuse. Like honestly, these kids like and like these very I don't know what way what's a very PG way to describe these kids with colorful personalities
Oh,
would come
okay.
in
Mm.
and just be really annoying, like like. And the annoying thing was just like there was just so many of them, and like they come in school buses and like from all parts of the country, obviously not Armagh.
Clearly.
Clearly,
Mm.
the
Freaks.
budget wasn't there.
They didn't let us down. Would have
And
encouraged.
yeah, I don't know. And that's where my like, and then at that point I was like, I'm never having kids. And then it turned out to be gay. So I was like, I see what we did there. I see how we connected the
Mm.
dots. But yeah, horrible stuff. And like there's lots of other stuff where like I got pulled into a pool up there because basically like I was trying to there's these little rubber ducks that you can get on. These not little rubber ducks. This feels like a fever dream, but there's these like water bumper cars that they had and they're shaped like ducks. And these kids got on them. And then when it ran out, like they'd have to come back, like the little red light would flash and they'd be like, okay, it's time to come back. Like, and I was only like 15, 16. So like I had absolutely
Oh.
zero authority over anything. So I was like, guys, when it's flashing red, like, make your way back to where you got on. And like, they would give me the finger, throwing stuff at me, hurling abuse, call me the F word, which fair, accurate, but I didn't know at the time, absolutely not. So yeah, anyway, most of the time there's stuff. The token would run out, the car would run out, and then I'd have to either throw them another token, which they just use and abuse and go around loads of times, or get this long pole with a little loop on the end to be like, okay, pull back in. And this one particular time, two kids were sitting on the duck and it was literally sinking. And I was like, okay, I need to pull them back in. So I put the pole out and I was like, grab the loop. And then they grabbed the loop and I was like, slowly pulling them back. And next thing they tugged on it and I'm holding onto the pole. So I go headfirst into the dirtiest, like scummiest, tetanus shot inducing water. And I was like, up my nose, in my hair, everything, phone in my pocket, wallet and everything. I literally walked through the whole building, soaking wet, went down to the office and was like, I'm out. And for that reason, I'm out. So,
I mean, fair. I say that they probably were like, understandable. Yeah, absolutely.
no, they were like, I got in trouble for that. They were like, how did you let that happen? I was like, Mom, like I'm working with kids who are the same age as me. And like obviously I wasn't physically, I was on paper 16, but
Mm.
physically I looked about 12. And like these kids are probably about 12 and probably were physically looked like 18, 19. And
Oh
yeah, so
god.
it was a losing battle.
Oh my god, that is probably one of the worst situations I've ever heard anybody doing it. I mean, usually I was just expecting the usual, like, worked at a cafe, people were wankers, or like, I
Yeah.
mean, I worked in a restaurant. My last day that I was working for this one, I was in for like 3 years, and I'd seen some shit. But people on the bar were like usually pretty dead on with me. Last day I was being like, it's been pretty mental, but like, very much like the this is me leaving. This is me like getting out of this town now. I'm like
Yeah.
I'm leaving it all behind to go for a bigger and better job. On this final day, sure, a woman came in. It was after the busiest lunch schedule in my life. She just walks in with about two children beside her, and I just like stop her. And I was like, "Sorry, just like we're not going to be serving any food, just so you know." Like it's mess all over. Without even like breaking a beat, she just goes like, "Why don't you like?" It's like, "Don't have a table for you." She's like, "Yeah, why don't you shove a table up your ass?" And then walk straight back out, and I'd be like, you know what? This was my time today. This was my cue to leave. Yeah, that's that. Somebody get the hook. Yeah, that's me pulled off
Oh,
stage.
basically, yeah.
I feel
That's
like
super cool.
everybody. Yeah, I mean, you've got pulled into water. I got told to shove a table up my ass. I mean,
Mm.
everybody has their day. Yeah,
Everyone has their
exactly.
table to be shoved up their arse. Like that's
Yeah, exactly. Do you know what I mean? Till this day, I remember shoving that table. But I suppose, like, yeah, that very much, I imagine, would cause some trauma. But obviously, lends itself stunning to podcast interviews.
yeah. Oh, brilliant. Oh, there's an opener.
You're like, oh my god, when I get onto Grave
So
Door,
I'm
this is gonna
sitting
be
there
fantastic.
drowning in this spring water. And it's like, yes.
Woo! But
Get
yeah,
that
I
sound bite
suppose. But I suppose, like, from that, like, I mean, that obviously lends itself into, I mean, it's in picking up a pretty thick skin for whatever else that's going to be chucked in your life. You're like, I've survived the waters of the fucking duck ride. I think I'll survive literally everything.
There you go.
I mean, from that, like, have there been, I mean, moving on from that, in bigger, better things, we're living our life now. Big 27, my God. Like, have there been any. I'm so sorry, though, that was triggering.
Sorry, and can we bleep that?
Boop. But I suppose, like, from all of these things that, like, went past now, have there been any major standout moments? I suppose that, like, now you're known for being this creator, being this, icon, really, of the
Holy
generation.
quid!
God. But,
My
like, have there
headphones
been
are fitting
any.
in my little Zoom square. Like slowly closing in.
But have there been any major standout moments that I suppose like have came from this kind of like life that like is that you're now known for that maybe you never thought you could imagine? I mean, has Fantasia like invited you back for like a meet and greet? I'm wondering like what's been happening.
I have not. I have yet to receive an email to be invited back to Fantasia. I'm sure they've long forgotten about me because the turnover of the staff there, as you can imagine, is quite a lot. Um, it's not really a position to stay at.
Mm.
But yeah, no, there's been really, really good opportunities. Like, and I'm absolutely unbelievably grateful, like so over the moon to be even invited on stuff, like, or involved in anything. Like,
Mm.
obviously, this podcast is an
I,
absolute standout
I didn't
moment
have to. I
in
didn't even have to prompt you, Chris. I
my
appreciate
career. Yeah, I was like, I'll take my check after the show.
that.
But yeah, no, there's loads of opportunities. Like, I think, like, I don't know, like when you think about like anyone who's like a content creator and stuff, like the biggest thing that could happen out of it is the telly. I feel like that's like the goal.
Mm.
So yeah, there's gonna be some stuff. I'm gonna be on the telly. I'm super
Excuse me,
excited.
what?
Yeah. Later on in the year, I'm not really meant to be talking about it, but I was like, it's gonna happen. Like, like no one's gonna be that surprised that I'm gonna be on telly. It's only like little small things, but it's like those type of opportunities where stuff comes in, and then there's something else that may be in the pipeline that I'm not allowed to talk about, which I hate. I don't like doing that. I don't like doing that. Oh my god, I can't talk about it, but like literally contracted. So I was like, okay, I need to leave that.
Don't
Uh,
worry, honestly, nobody listens to this podcast anyways. You can just spell it all out here. It'll be fine. It's just for me and you. Honestly, just imagine, and my mom. That's all that's there. I mean, you can disclose. It's fine. I'm sure I can like cut it out in the
yeah,
I won't
leave
cut
it
it
the whole
out, but
podcast.
like, yeah, just go for it anyways. But no shit, like, I suppose that
So cool. It's so
like, I
cool.
mean, that's something that I don't think anybody really imagines starting off being like, I'm gonna make some like silly videos or whatever like this, and then next thing is like, I suppose, and it's I suppose the guts of like a year has this kind of been like that you've been making stuff, and now this is kind of where you're on to.
Yeah, no, it's insane. Like, and I suppose like, and you know as well, like TikTok growth is absolutely ridiculous. Like, and same as when it was Vine, like, or not when it was Vine, but when Vine was popular, like it was literally like
Mm,
the same people in your face the whole time, you know. And I'm just
mm.
absolutely honored to be one of those faces that graces people's For You page. But it's so funny because in my head, I'm like, I'm just being a fucking knob on the internet, and everyone's just like, okay, we'll allow it. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, okay, thank you so much. And like what I suppose one of the other big things is like anything to do with like collabs and work with like any companies and stuff. It's
Mm.
insane. Like I did so much work for Centra and like my little chicken
So
soup.
much.
And I love Centra and like who else would be pretty big standouts? Like, oh god, I don't want to forget anyone. But like I did like working with like stuff like Apache's Pizza and stuff like I'm like, why are you like and like they let me they were probably my favorite because they let me just like literally write the script and do the whole thing. And I was like, okay, like what would you be your idea to sell the Apache's Pizza? And I was like, I could do like pizza delivery boy and then like flirt with him and like say really dirty, gross things to him. And they're like, yeah, okay. And then I was like, wrote up a little script, which I don't normally do. And I was like, this is what I want to say. And like, it was literally like, you know, the start of a porn, pretty much. And
Extra
they were like, yeah,
sausage.
yeah, it was literally like every cliche. I was like, tick, 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 sausage pizza, you know, like, oh, you don't have payment? Like, oh, I'm sure we can arrange something else. Like that very much. And then I was like, they were so cool about like letting me do stuff like that. And then, oh, I got to work with the antiviral campaign, which was really, really, really important. It was me and a couple of content creators who did like content worked with the government, which
Mm.
why did they pick me? Like this fucking little gay, like, you know, it was really confusing to me, but I was just like, okay, cool. And they're basically just like wear a mask. And I was like, you know what, like I would already promote that and say that anyway. So yes, I'd love to be involved. And then we got to interview, went up to the RDS and interviewed God, the deputy chief medical officer, Ronan, I can't remember his surname now. This is awful. He's lovely.
Yeah,
He's a deputy.
Ronan off.
We're on first name basis.
Oh my
So
god,
it's
yeah.
fine.
Okay, so you don't know Ronan? But yeah, like I mean, like yeah, it seems to be like
Wow.
so many kind of like different ones as well. Like you mentioned, they're kind of like with the antiviral campaign. I remember that being a big one with like even like who was it like Podge Henry I think was doing stuff
Yeah,
like
Patrick
that with
Henry
it.
would do that.
But like I was just seeing like people like yourself that like I think it like gives a little bit of like legitimacy because I suppose that you're kind of touching upon it there as well, where it's like, you're still sitting there being like, oh, people probably just think I'm being a knobhead, but like, it like with the growth of like TikTok and like even just like everything else, like it shows like this is what people are paying attention to. This is what where people are,
Mm.
getting their entertainment and stuff. So like to then like for brands and companies to be like, yeah, like let's get in touch. Your must have just been like, oh, this is working.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like yeah, because that's I think like that would have been the fear as well in the kind of switch over from like Irish-esque content to more
Mm,
LGBT stuff where it's like, okay, obviously brands don't want to like any family brands probably don't want to work with me on certain things. Like I did
we
something,
hate them anyways, but
yeah. I was like sounds homophobic, so um,
wow.
I did like a little video with Eason's and like I made a video for them that was very racy. And even I was like, I remember watching the back and being like, they're not gonna say yes to this, but I'm gonna send it anyway. And I sent it to them. They were like, we love it, it's so funny, but like absolutely not, because they're like, friends are family friendly thing. So I did something slightly different where I pretended I broke up with my ex for Valentine's Day. I don't know who the fuck my ex was because I wasn't dating anyone. But yeah, no, that was fun. I actually did enjoy that as well. So it's kind of like finding the fine line between Irish-esque content to still
Mm.
keep in good graces with the companies, and then also kind of make stuff that I think would kind of push the book and make more people want to either watch my content or consider watching it.
Yeah, yeah. And I suppose like that's one thing as well. Like I feel like you've like stuck so kind of true to like things that clearly like is stuck to your humor, or like even if you are doing things, you're still doing it your way instead of like doing, people, getting like whatever it is, like 0% fucking like Guinness and be like, I love it.
Oh yeah.
Like, do that kind of way. Like, I feel like you've done the right line of like, you're still maintaining what you're known for and your kind of style things without completely like sell out to like what you think people are want to go, want to
Yeah.
work with. Because like at the end of the day, that's what people let you just read straight through it. But I suppose on the other side of all of this, like these amazing opportunities, like have there been any kind of like downsides to, like, you know, as you said, like getting into like these more spotlight moments, or has like I mean, the only thing I can imagine is like people just kind of being like the
Yeah.
notions on that fella, but like
Yeah.
has there been really any downsides? It sounds like it's been really positive.
It has, like, and I always embrace the positivity on anything. Um,
Yeah.
like, you know, I always say, think positive, test negative. I think that's the motto for life.
Yeah, it's a new live, laugh, love.
That's the new live, laugh, love. Find out on t-shirts, my new merch line. But yeah, no, I think I like there obviously has been very hard moments as well where it's kind of like I don't want to make something. And I always do, like, if I don't want to do it, I won't do it. Like there's some brands that
Mm.
approach me. Like I used to have like really bad acne. I still have kind of not great skin. We can see it there on the Zoom, no filter. And yeah, there's some like brands that approach me with stuff like skin stuff, and I'm like, I'm not promoting anything until I'm 100% happy with that, because like I know I've bought everything and it's all shite, you know. And then
Yeah.
like, or skinny teas and stuff like that. And I was like, sis, not the laxatives, not the laxatives.
I'm not Maura Higgins.
Yeah, anything that's going to be like promoting something to give someone an ED, like I'm not part of that conversation. Or like other stuff that might be pandering to the LGBT
Mm.
community. It's like, oh, we gave them money one time, so like we put a rainbow on a fucking t-shirt, and like, will you wear it? And I'm like, absolutely not, like, you know. But
No,
that's
but we made like socks and shit. Like it's cool. Like
yeah,
what,
the
do you know what
stuff,
I mean?
yeah,
Yeah, up the gas. Oh, yeah.
yeah. I
Thanks,
can't,
guys.
but yeah, I think the only other thing that would be a horror side, or like, I find it very difficult to trust people anyway. I'm not like a very I've been burned a couple of times, you know. I've been, yeah, there's been some rocky roads along the way. But then I was like, I have to, I took myself off. And this was like such a detox moment for me, and such a like main character energy. Like, oh my God, what's that guy on TikTok? You know, the guy who plays like the single white woman, and the sound and the
Oh.
like,
Oh yeah, it's like the big little lies. Like yeah,
yeah.
like
Oh
it's
my
like a
God.
white woman with a glass of wine. Yeah.
You know what? This is a TikTok. This is a TikTok idea that's just popped into my head now that I need to do. But this is exactly what happened. This is me like deleting all of my dating apps, because I was like, I was like, not that I thought I was too big for them, right? And this is because it's gonna come across like that. But if you look at like my statistics, or like my like followers, and like where they're from and who they are,
Yeah.
a lot of them are gay Irish men. Do you know what I mean? So like
Yeah.
they make up definitely a majority of them. And then like whatever other nationalities, but it's mostly the girls and the gays. And then like a
Mm.
lot of them are Irish, obviously Chris has done stuff. So it's kind of like I'd be like matching with people, and they're like, I love your TikToks. And I'm like, oh my God, thanks so much. And then I was like, I fancy you, because that's why I swiped on it, you know? And then I was like, yeah, I love your TikToks. You should hang out sometime. And then at that point, it's kind of like, I don't know where this, like, is this a friendship thing? Is this like
Oh
a really, yeah.
really?
And I had like a really, really bad experience with someone where it's just kind of like, I didn't know what was happening. And I was like, we were talking for ages. And then he's like, oh, I only like you as a friend. And I was like, we have been messaging for a while, like a while. And then he was like, oh yeah, I don't. And I was like, okay, so I'm not looking to make friends on Tinder and like all that
Yeah,
stuff.
not ideal. Really. I mean, come on.
Not this. And
That's
like
not Facebook for
again,
it.
like I suppose the only time I've ever dated people is like people I've met on a night out, because I think that's when you know someone's energy. But I do get really
Yeah.
scared if, and I hate saying this because it makes me sound like I'm a big fucking full of myself, but I hate other people knowing more about me than I know about them. Because I'm like, they have the upper hand, like they know this, that, and the other, like, you know, like they
Yeah,
know
yeah.
where I live and what I do, and like like whatever I put out there, like, which obviously I've done that, so I know me putting stuff out there. I'm not gonna be like, oh my God, how did they know all that? Like, you know, and my
Yeah.
air code on my fucking like LinkedIn or whatever. So yeah, that's
Yeah.
something that would be a horror story for me, where it's just kind of like I've invested time into people,
Well,
and I'm a busy girl. I don't have time to waste on those.
busy. Like that's why I was going to say that. Like, I mean, have there been any kind of like situation where you're like people are recognizing you, but like it literally like it's like literally you have to be like take yourself off date now because you're like you're not sure who wants a collab and who wants a hey
That's
who
what
wants
I
a hi
mean.
yeah.
That's what I mean. And I don't, it's like, what is it? Cloud chasing is what they call it. But I never really put any
What kite chasing?
clout.
Oh, cloud
Yeah.
chasing.
I th-
Okay.
I don't actually think that there's that many people who do this. But then again, I was like, I would fucking do that. If I was trying to get TikTok famous and I matched with someone who's TikTok famous, yeah, I would, and I get the mentality. I understand it. Like
Mm,
I do it. I would do
yeah.
it too for a check. So
It's tough the top. I hear you. Yeah.
yeah.
People are just flocking to. Honestly, like I just don't understand if they wanted me or the
No.
fame. I mean, it's shocking. I mean,
Oh God. Yeah, but like yeah, I don't mind it. Like it is what it is. And I think once we get back into reality, like and then it won't be an issue. I think and it's like I don't want to be complaining about that because there's so many people as well who are also on dating apps and like have struggled on it. And like it's not just like, oh my God, I have this, Mein Kampf, my struggle moment on Tinder and everything where everyone's been trying to like salvage some sort of like dating life with the current situation. So yeah, it's just not the tea. And I think everyone, like for me, I'm more of a people person, whereas like I love like clicking with someone
yeah.
naturally rather than trying to force something.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like, I mean, well, at least you're being known for being like, oh, yeah, you're kind of like really successful. I mean, I would laugh the day if somebody, that's a lie. Oh my God, no. I when I used to work for Joe.ie, I got recognized for doing because I had to start off their TikToks and it was like somebody called me out for being someone on TikTok. I immediately delete the message. I like unmatched them and everything else. I was be like, nope, yeah, this
Yeah.
is like, but that was my one actual. I was about to take this. I was about to be like, somebody knows me from the podcast. But and then I just click back to be like, sorry, I was famous once.
Yes, I love that. It's weird though. It is weird. Like, and even like at the very beginning,
It's kind of cringy though because you're always putting
it's so
stuff out
great.
there that is obviously meant for a bigger audience, as meant for realistically you're trying to get the views and stuff like this, but you're like an exaggerated version of yourself,
Yeah,
and then you're being like, if I seen myself online, I'd probably be like,
I
who's
know.
this like twat? Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, no, that's how I felt. And like at the very beginning, I was like, I'm just gonna deny and be like, no, that's not me. And then
and
I
then they
got,
link you your Instagram with all of your TikToks, all I'd be like,
I know it's too, but like
interesting.
at the very beginning, I got my Tinder account reported and deleted for impersonation. And I was
Fake.
like, what? So like I was saying that I was there. They were like, "Are you this?" And I was like, "No." And they were like, "Okay, well, obviously, like a catfish." But I was like, "Not a catfish. It's actually me." Like I don't. It's so difficult to believe that an absolute huge superstar celebrity with me would use Tinder, right? Like,
Yeah. I mean, honestly, it's fine.
yeah.
Gosh, Jesus.
I think, and then it's like 10 times weirder in person. Like it's happened a couple of times, and it was really weird because all like the very beginning of like my TikTok career, which is a weird term, but that was like, yeah, what was that? She like I was like getting recognized out in the streets, and I was like, this is so strange because we can't actually meet up with people. We can't go up. Like, I wouldn't mind. I'll take a photo with anyone. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's the same as me in the smoking area in the George. Like, I'll be out
Yeah.
getting photos with anyone. Like, obviously, this is before I did any TikTok stuff, but I'd be like, I don't mind posting for a photo with anyone. Like, when you're drunk, you want to
Yeah.
with everyone. But yeah, it was weird because I was like, I need to be careful. I don't want to like be promoting non-social distancing and stuff like that. So then it's kind of like, are you Chris Sandom? I'm like, yeah. And it's like, what do we do?
You have to do like that, like classic, like work with kids training, wherever there's a picture of you with kids, and you have to put your hands up like this, like,
I'm not
like
part of this. I'm
I'm
disengaging.
not touching them. I'm distanced. Yeah, like if you ever, I think this. I only can't talk because my friend she worked in Scouts and she like only she was like that's why like in all the pictures there's just loads of adults with their hands up like be like as if they're about to get fucking shot like literally just be like ha it's like oh no I just thought that was them trying to have fun. She's like no that's very legal like that is like for the postcard but I suppose from all of this, I mean, from having to delete Tinder because you're getting recognized too much, and TikTok, I mean, stepping that pussy up from Fantasia, here we are today. Like, I suppose, like, from all of this that's happened so far, what does the future hold for yourself, Chris? Like, are there any big goals that, like, you want to achieve? I mean, so far from this, because, I mean, from what's happened so recently over the last year, I mean,
Yeah.
it seems like there's only momentum coming up. I mean, you're on Finnterviews. Oh my god.
Yeah, I know. I
I
mean,
mean, clear. Like, where else is there to go from here? Honestly, that's
that's
what I'm trying to
see,
ask.
I was just about to say that. I feel like
Mm.
Lady Gaga when she performed the Super Bowl and she was like, "This is it. Like, this is the peak of her career." So now that I've been
Exactly.
for interviews, I'm just kind of thinking like, Like,
Plateau. Yeah.
delete the account. I don't know. Like, it's a, do I, yes, I hung up the Irish mammy robe. Do I hang up,
Mm.
I don't know, the jockstrap or whatever the gay equivalent is?
Who knows? Who knows? But yeah, what are the big plans? Is there anything? Or are you just riding out the wave and basically just seeing what happens?
I don't know. Like, it's one of those things where, yeah, I suppose it is, yeah, riding the wave, but like, it's so unpredictable. Like, like you can love one and hated another. And then like, I remember I had like one video that went on the wrong side of TikTok and all these people were like queer bashing me, which I was like, oh my God, back to my school days. That was amazing. A little flashback of that. But yeah, no, it was, sorry, I don't know how I got on that. But yeah, in the future, I don't know, it could be anywhere from doing more stuff on telly. I'd love to do like presenting and stuff. I feel like that would be fun. But then I don't know when people will be like, wait, this guy makes very racy content. Maybe he's not the telly personality. Or is it, do I do something trashy and then have to write an autobiography? Like, there's, it's either end of the spectrum.
I
Or do I just
mean,
fall off the face of the planet? Where it's like, okay, like I actually have so much respect for content creators that literally like one day they just like, everyone's like, what happened to, this person? Like, where did they go? What happened? It was like they disengage from the internet. And I feel like that's where I want to be. That's kind of where I want to be.
that's where I want to be. I want to very much just disassociate from life and completely.
I just think that's so like very Gone Girl-esque, where it's like, oh my God, like they're watching my videos and then it's like the account's deleted. It's like, what? Where is he? And like, I'm in Fiji Islands or something. So
yeah, it's like the cock destroyers whenever they unfollowed each other.
Oh my
like, excuse
God.
me, what?
The drama. It's the wound is still fragile.
Honestly, I mean, God, but like, yeah. And I suppose like, but that's it. Like, it's at the end of the day, do you know what I mean? It's as soon as you just have to keep enjoying it. And like, as soon as it kind of gets to a point like where it's like not enjoyable, or I mean, speaking about like whether you were getting like gay bash on TikTok, I wonder how that video got on their feed. But like, I suppose when it gets to like, I suppose you just keep writing it out until it just gets to the point where it's like, I don't really fancy this anymore. Yeah. But like, for now, it's very much still, I mean, you're still building up. Like, I suppose it's just exciting to see where you're going to go next from here.
Yeah. It's, maybe we'll do like a little Where Are They Now?
Where are they now? But I mean, as well, on top of this, I have been writing down, just because I'm such a good interviewer, I've just been making notes throughout our little interview process here tonight. And I was wondering, before we drop it off tonight, I have some buzzwords, and I was wondering if we do a little bit of a word association thing. Basically, whatever, the first thing that comes to mind, it could be a word, phrase. I wonder if you'll play it with me. I'm
very convinced that this is like a front for therapy, and my mother has set this up, and she's like, this is the only way to discuss his feelings. And now I'm like, wait a minute, it's all clicking now.
If this is therapy, I very much am sorry for this. This is some reductive fucking therapy then, Jesus Christ. Like, I'm like, tell me all your secrets and then I'll laugh. But will you play a little bit of a word association game? Yeah. And then I swear I'll let you go. You can like literally like die on your sunshade. Yeah. Yeah, we up for it?
Yes, I love games. Anything game related, I'm like, see, I'm competitive, so there might be a bit of shouting and like kind of.
Okay. Well, there's only 5, so we're keeping it very short. Okay.
So it's not like timed or anything.
No, it's not at all. It's not at all. But if you do slip up, I will be cutting off a minute.
Yeah, you will be cancelled. Like you will.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm gonna edit this around and make you sound like the worst person in the world. Sure. Yeah. Okay, let's go. Word association game. First one, we're starting off with Billy Barry.
Ooh. I don't know.
It's a fucking word association. Come on, Chris.
I can't think of anything.
What's the word?
Love. I'm gonna say love because I really did like it.
Okay, TikTok.
TikTok. Love. No, TikTok. Addicted.
Fantasia.
Oh my God. Death.
You heard it first. Centra.
Oh, Bestie.
Tinder.
Delete.
Finally, Finnterviews.
Interviews. Love. Oh my God.
You already used that for Billy Barry and TikTok, so I mean,
okay, good. Let's think of the adjective. Finnterviews, no, fun. I'm gonna say fun,
Fuck.
excitement, enjoyable. It's just
The
this like
moment here,
she is.
iconic,
She is
groundbreaking. Yeah.
groundbreaking. Yeah, like it's just one of those things where it's like there's so much to say that I can't think of anything.
Mm.
My brain is also working at maybe 3-4% capacity at most. Really
My
10% of my brain, so that's pretty good actually.
I'm suspending disbelief.
Yeah.
But no, Chris, honestly, thank you so much for coming on to the podcast. Obviously, that game is very much just for me to get somebody to say something nice about the podcast. And if they're not, if it's not, it's fine. It's cut out.
I can't
But
wait for that to
honestly,
be a soundbite and come up like as an Instagram ad. It's like Finnterviews. I love it. It's groundbreaking, iconic, the moment.
do you know what I mean? It's all part of the game. But for the people that, have been maybe listening to you tonight and for the rare fucking occasion that they found you through coming through me, maybe let us know where we can find all your bits and pieces, where we can keep up with everything, Mr. Chris.
Well, I suppose TikTok and Instagram is probably the places where I'm active. So that's Chris is Annam Dumb. And then, yeah, anywhere else you can find me. Not on Tinder or Grindr anymore, unfortunately. But you can find
through
me
the window, through the keyhole.
Through the glory hole. That's where you can find me, anonymously.
But no, thank you so much because honestly, I really appreciate you. I think I said this at the start as well. Like I just reach out to us whenever, I just want to have the crack with people, chat to people that I find interesting. That's what this whole podcast started off for. So people actually get back and take time to sit down and let me just fucking like rip the skeletons out of their closet and just be like, tell me about your life.
I am the skeleton in the closet that you ripped out.
No, but I honestly just really appreciate anybody that takes time and sits down and has a wee chat with me. So honestly, thank you so much for giving me your Sunday evening. And here, I wish you the best luck with everything. Anyway, sir, all right.
Thank you.
Slán. Bye. Thank you so much for tuning into another episode of Finnterviews. Per usual, if you enjoyed this episode or be it any other episodes, do remember to give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or whatever you're listening on. And yeah, comment, like, subscribe, share to make sure that you never miss another Finnterview. Also, you can follow me on socials. I'm on literally everything. And yeah, if you just type in Finnterviews or Finnterviews Podcast, you'll find me wherever you're doing most of your social networking. And yeah, you can get in touch and even give me some suggestions who you would like to hear in the show next. Until then, thank you so much again for tuning in, and I'll chat to you later. Bye.